The man who found the infinite cash hack. I think this is all of our dreams.
May 2011 at midnight. Dan Saunders is watching police lights through his five-star hotel window. His hands won't stop shaking. 4 months ago, he was a broke bartender in small town in Australia. Then he found an ATM with a glitch. Not a small glitch.
Ooh, I heard some stories. I don't know if this is the same story, but I heard a person like who found a glitch in the ATM, and he was going there every single time, every single night, because there was just during some period time between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. that it was just glitching. You could have withdrawn like $1,000. After that, it was just going back to the normal. Something like this. I don't know if this is the same story or something different, but let's see.
An infinite money glitch. Every night at exactly 1 a.m., the banking system goes blind.
Okay,
and
I
he
think
can hack it.
I think it is.
Dan's stolen $1.6 million. Cash, private jets to Bali, champagne that costs more than cars. But tonight, the lights outside aren't going away. The sirens are getting louder. Someone's at the door. But how did a regular guy hack the banking system to withdraw infinite cash? And how long can he get away with it before the bill comes due? 4 months earlier, on a warm February night in 2011,
2011.
Wangaratta,
15
Australia,
years ago.
a quiet country town far from any city lights. Dan Saunders pushes through the pub's sticky door at last call, 29, and invisible to everyone but the bartender waiting for his tip. He's low on cash and a bit tipsy, wandering under flickering street lamps to find an ATM. The clock strikes midnight as he slips in his worn bank card. He's just hoping to pull out enough money for a cab home. Instead, the ATM screen flashes a strange error. Balance unavailable at this time. The screen flickers. For a second, Dan swears he sees his actual balance, $3.42. Then it's gone. Dan furrows his brow. That's odd. He knows he barely has any money in his savings account, just a few dollars. But this message isn't a typical insufficient funds warning. The beer makes him bold enough to try something stupid. He flips through the ATM's menu and attempts to transfer $200 from his credit account to his empty savings account. If it works, maybe he can then withdraw it. He taps confirm. The machine whirs for a moment, then spits out his card with a new message. Transaction canceled. No money, no receipt, nothing.
Okay.
It's past midnight and it looks like the ATM is acting up. Most people would shrug and walk away. Dan almost does. But something about that glitch sticks in his mind. It's late, he's buzzed, and he has nothing to lose. He slides his card back in and this time selects withdraw $200 from the savings account that he knows is nearly empty. A soft count-clicking sound comes from inside the machine. And to his surprise, it spits out $200 in cash.
So he didn't really hack it. This is just a genuine glitch which was connected to the ATM.
He counts the bills twice.
I mean, I don't know. If if I would be ever dropping into this situation, wait, I actually need to try it out. How much money I have in my bank account right now? Yeah, I have less than 200. That's for sure. Let's go try to withdraw $200, guys. If it works, I'ma just withdraw the rest of what's remaining in the bank. Sometimes it's luck. Yeah, this is not gonna work, guys. This is just not gonna work. Even if it does, I'm pretty sure like it's right now everything is filled with cameras, with system. It's different than what it was like back in 15 years ago. The security 15 years ago was not that good.
They're real. The serial numbers are different. This isn't a dream. A security camera blinks red above him. Dan freezes. Has it been recording this whole time? Dan's jaw drops. He blinks at the notes in his hand. This shouldn't be possible. But here it is, free money. He glances around the deserted street. No alarms, no security guards tackling him. Just the hum of the ATM and the thump of his heart.
So he just withdrew $200 and left. I would definitely try the glitch again. If I'd be in his situation, trying to withdraw money that I don't have, and it works, I will definitely pull my card back into the ATM and try to withdraw double that or something and keep going until it runs out. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. You don't know when it's ever going to be happening, you know what I mean?
Did he just get away with an overdraft? Or is this ATM truly blind to his balance? Stuffing the cash in his pocket, Dan hurries back to the bar, mind racing. He buys a final round of drinks for friends, acting like nothing happened. But inside, he's buzzing. Was it a fluke? A bank error? Would it work again? On the walk home, he can't resist.
Yeah, all of this noise is gonna be happening within your brain. How did it work? Am I gonna be caught? Was I lucky? Is this something that is gonna be working? Let's try again. Let's not try again. So many noises, I'm pretty sure, going in the backstory of that.
Testing the machine once more. The town is quiet, the ATM glowing in the darkness like a beacon. Dan takes a breath and inserts his card for a third time that night. He tries another transfer between accounts.
Wait, this is the same night? They say the third time, so it has to be back to back. The first time it declined whenever he tried to transform from one card to another, from one balance to another. The second time he tried to withdraw straight away, which he didn't have. And now the third time, so is this actually like 3 times in a row? What was that middle story that he went home, blah, 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 whatever, bro?
$500 this time, then attempts a $500 withdrawal. The machine dispenses the cash without a hiccup. Emboldened, he goes for $600 next. More cash straight into his hand. Dan laughs out loud on the empty street, half in disbelief. It feels like he's found a cheat code to reality. Up, down, down, infinite cash. By the time he finally heads home, his wallet is bulging with hundreds, and his mind is swirling with possibilities.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow, the bank will know. Tomorrow, alarms will sound. Tomorrow, Dan's life ends. But tonight, he counts $300 in cash and wonders, what if tomorrow never comes and the bank never knows? Morning
This
light.
is just the greediness inside you. It's just never enough. Never enough. As soon as you find something good, you want more.
Slices through Dan's
Most
mind.
people would have do the same thing, I would say.
He rolls over groggily, half convinced the previous night was just a boozy hallucination. Surely he didn't actually pull cash out of thin air. But there on his nightstand sits a fat wallet with a $2,000 that wasn't there yesterday.
Dang.
Dan's heart skips. It was real. He didn't dream it. He really walked home with a small fortune. Hands trembling, he grabs his phone and calls his bank's automated hotline to check his balance. The robotic voice reads out his savings account total, negative $2,000. Dan.
So it does go to negative. You get the money, but your balance is on negative. So this is gonna be, even if it glitches, you know, like your name is out there, your location is out there, everything is just out there. If it's a negative, your bank is gonna be knowing everything about you. So you just take the money and run away. I mean, I'm assuming this person had nothing, right? He had no money. He doesn't seem like he has family. He's living in a hostel or a motel or whatever it is. So he doesn't really have anything to lose, right? This is why the greediness comes in, because he literally have nothing to lose. So even if he ends up in the jail because of what he did, I don't think that he's going to be caring about that much. Just abuse the glitch as much as you can. Grab like 50, 60, 100K and get the hell out of where are you. Your life sucks anyway. Just get out. Then your bank is not going to be knowing anything about you. Where are you staying? You're nowhere near in the state. You're nowhere near in the country anymore.
Exhales. So the money came from somewhere. He's technically in the red now. But the bank hasn't shut anything down. Not yet. Dan scribbles a plan.
I would say it would take them at least 3 to 7 days to actually notice and start the preparation for it. The contacting the person, like, hey, this is how much balance you have. Hey, you have debt. You have money to pay us. I would say at least 3 to 7 days. Maybe even longer. But this is why I say at least. So within those 3 to 7 days...
If the ATM lets him grab cash while it's offline, he can return it with a bogus transfer before anyone notices. Each night, he'll cover the previous day's negative balance with an even larger phantom transfer in that 1 to 3 a.m. window. In theory, he can loop this indefinitely, conjuring money that vanishes and reappears like a yo-yo. It sounds crazy, but last night proved the system can be tricked. Only one way to know for sure: try again. That very night, Dan returns to the same ATM under the stars, heart hammering in his chest. He waits until the stroke of 1 a.m.
Yo, the adrenaline rush at this point, every single time he puts in his card into the ATM would be like, pum, 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 or even pum, 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 pum. It will be going crazy.
Card in. This time, he's bold. He transfers $4,000 from his credit account to his savings, a bogus move since his credit limit is nowhere near that high. And the ATM, oblivious to reality, obliges. He then withdraws another $2,000 cash, enough to clear yesterday's debt. If his hunch is right, by tomorrow his account will be $4,000 when that fake transfer is reversed. But he can leapfrog it again with an even larger transfer. It's a leap of faith in a glitchy system, and it works. The next day, no panicked call from the bank, just a new, bigger negative balance, waiting for its own cover.
What is the maximum amount that you can even grab from the ATM at once? In my country is around 500 JDs, which is around 700 US. This is the maximum amount that you can be withdrawing at once. I don't know how much is it, like, because this guy just withdrew 2,000 straight away. From a bank, you can obviously like go in and get as much as you want, but from an ATM at once, the maximum that you can be getting is 500. Obviously, you can be like, keep going. You just put the card back, get 500. Put the card back, get 500. But this is such a bad way and lame way to get your money, especially if you want to buy a car with cash or something.
So Dan pushes the envelope further. Night after night, transfer after transfer, withdrawal after withdrawal, he cooks the books in his favor. 8,000, 16,000, the phantom funds balloon. On day 12, the ATM freezes mid-transaction. For 30 seconds, Dan's card stays trapped inside.
A lot of people here use diggers and steal the whole ATM. You must be living in the UK. That's not funny. UK is...
He can't breathe. Then, click, it slides out. Business as usual. Within a few weeks, Dan walks into a bank branch and nearly collapses when the teller casually mentions his savings balance. Over $1 million. On paper, he's a millionaire.
Over $1 million he brought from that ATM. Here, they don't even have that amount of money in the bank itself. Not to like put in an ATM, bro. Having in one ATM more than $1 million is kind of crazy, bro.
Dan stares at that number. 7 figures flickering on a screen, and feels a thrill unlike anything in his life. With a few keystrokes at the right hour, he has spawned a personal money tree. Cash growing out of pure nothing. The adrenaline is intoxicating. He feels like a caveman discovering fire. This secret, this exploit is his alone. No one is stopping him. Not the bank's fraud alerts, they haven't so much as called. Not the cops, they have no clue. Dan steps out of the bank into the
They haven't
sunshine,
discovered it
pulse
yet.
thundering. He could pay off his debts, sure. But why stop there? If you found a glitch that let you print money, what would you do? Pay your bills and go back to normal? Or chase the wild possibilities it opens?
No ATM will have 1 million in it. This is what I'm saying. So this is like a made-up story. But at the same time, I don't really know how things works in the US, for example. Or I don't know where this video was from. Because this is based on a true story, right? It has to be from a based on a true story. It was 2011, blah, 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 blah. I don't really know what country is that. Different countries has different possibilities, different limitations. So in other countries, maybe there are some ATMs that has over $1 million.
Dan already knows his answer, and you will be surprised with it. And so begins the wildest ride of Dan's life. Over the next 5 months, he burns through money like it's going out of style. Roughly $1.6 million
That's crazy.
in total. Each day brings a new jaw-dropping splurge. He charters a private jet to Bali for a weekend of luxury villas and...
Why just a weekend?
The pilot asks how a bartender affords this. Dan's answer is practiced. Crypto. The pilot nods. Everyone believes in crypto. But at 3 a.m. in a Bali villa, Dan's phone buzzes. Unknown number.
In Bali, your phone buzzes. This is a little bit suspicious because after you're going to be landing in Bali or wherever you're going, I'm going to be going to Bali next week, by the way. You're going to be probably not using the same SIM card. So I'm assuming like the phone that is ringing is even the police or the bank is calling him. He's not even going to be having his SIM card working. It's just going to be out of service.
Area code. His champagne glass slips through his fingers. He books entire floors of five-star hotels, tossing $100 tips to staff like confetti. At a downtown nightclub, Dan plunks down his black card and treats everyone in VIP to top-shelf champagne, a $50,000 night to remember.
Dang.
He throws parties where the champagne flows freely, the bar tab alone enough to buy a new car. It's not all self-indulgence either. Dan discovers that giving money away can be its own high. When a friend mentions he's struggling to pay university tuition, Dan quietly wires the full amount to settle it. He pays off another buddy's student loans without blinking. At one point, he even covers the debt of a casual acquaintance, just because he can. If you have...
Yeah, this is a person who never ever made money in his life. He's not good with handling money. We watched a video about winning the lottery and how people usually treat the money afterwards. Probably in a couple of years, the people that won millions of dollars from lottery, they go bankrupt. This is a person who doesn't know how to make money because they're not educated on that topic, right? They cannot be, they won't be able to handle the money. They have it, they just spend it here and there, here and there, here and there. This is stupid.
Imagination and money.
I mean, it's not like they're spending it on the wrong things, right? Like paying off college intuitions and that kind of stuff, like, you know, debts for other people. But hey, you don't even know them, bro. We're in the right mind that doesn't have money, doesn't make money from something that is bringing him money every month. This is just dumb. Start a business from the money that you have. Start a Pora Piri business or something.
Make people's wildest dreams come true.
Should I buy property, mostly land, or crypto, bro? He was talking about crypto. So he knows. Put your money to work.
He muses, grinning at the stunned gratitude around him. For a while, he becomes a local legend. The bartender turned secret millionaire who'll pick up the tab and then some. People who never knew his name suddenly remember they went to primary school together. Strangers cozy up to him, sensing the aura of easy money. He notices men treating him with new deference. Women who never gave him a second glance now hanging on his every word.
The power of money, ladies and gentlemen. He was a nobody. He was almost a homeless before that. Now he have money. Now everybody want to be around him. What a fucked up society. But hey, this is reality, guys.
Having money, or rather looking like you do, changes everything. Dan revels in it. He's living a life that feels stolen from a movie montage. Private jets, penthouse suites, VIP treatment everywhere he goes.
I mean, if this is actually true, the money that he has, 1.6 million that he withdrew, is not gonna be, I mean, wait, it's 15 years ago. 15 years ago, 1.6 million equals to around 3 to 5 millions today. Definitely double the price and even more. So that amount of money, how long is it going to be lasting you if you keep flying private jets, you have nice suits, dropping bars, paying out students' loans, students' intuitions, and all that? How long is the money generally going to be lasting you? It's not going to last more than 3 months. That money is not a lot for this kind of lifestyle. Maybe not 3 months. Maybe let's say a year by maximum. Money vanished. A year, ladies and gentlemen. Kind of crazy.
And all of it powered by a glitch that no one else knows about.
I don't even think it's a year.
Each night, he still performs his little midnight ritual, shuffling money between phantom accounts to keep the illusion alive. It's a small price to pay for the freedom to do anything, be anyone, in the daylight. He lies to his family about where the cash came from, concocting stories that he's an investment banker, or in real estate. Anything but the truth. Deep down, he knows he's living on borrowed time and borrowed money, but the thrill is too great to stop. Not yet. One night in a swanky Melbourne bar, his close friend Jake grabs Dan's wrist as he reaches for his card. "I know what you're doing." The music stops in Dan's head. The transfers, the midnight ATM runs. "I saw you last week." Dan's mouth goes dry. Jake leans closer. "You're going to prison, mate, and I can't watch it happen." He drops Dan's wrist and walks out. Dan orders another bottle, the most expensive one they have. In these moments, Dan pushes aside the nagging pit in his stomach. He's addicted to the rush of being the high roller, the hero, the man of the hour. Yet late at night, when the parties die down and he's alone with his thoughts, Dan sometimes feels a shadow creeping in, a silent dread in the back of his mind like the distant rumble of a coming storm. As spring 2011 wears on, that shadow grows. He knows logically that this can't go on forever. Every joyride eventually runs out of road, but how will it happen?
Like, I'm telling you how it will happen. The bank will call them, hey, you have negative money on the balance. You need to pay it off in a month. He's not going to be able to pay it off. The bank is going to be recharging them with a scam or with a claim that, hey, he didn't pay off his debt. They're going to be finding his assets, which obviously he doesn't have any. So they're going to be jailing him. This is how it's going to be happening.
When? By late spring 2011, Dan's nerves are shot. The man who once reveled in free money now jumps at every shadow. Night after night, he bolts awake from the same nightmare. Red and blue lights flashing through his window. Authorities finally come to...
Straight away, FBI?
He's developed a constant tremor in his hands. Anxiety attacks hit at
Oh.
random, his heart racing as if trying to escape his chest. Dan
He's
develops a
hallucinating.
ritual. Every morning he Googles his name plus arrest and fraud. Nothing yet. But yet is doing heavy lifting. When the phone rings, he snatches it up immediately, half hoping it's someone who will end this charade. In quieter moments, he asks himself what he's become.
Why is the phone flipped backwards? Why is he holding his phone backwards? Hello? Oh my god.
After a lifetime of playing by the rules, he's broken everyone, and his conscience just won't stay quiet. Meanwhile, the bank still hasn't caught on. Their fraud department calls occasionally, but only to confirm his latest outrageous expenditures. Did you spend $8,000 at a luxury hotel? They inquire. Yes, that was me, Dan sighs into the phone. All right, no worries, just checking, the rep chirps. It's absurd, almost comical. Here he is living off stolen money, and the only thing the bank says is thanks for your business. But Dan can't laugh anymore. He's exhausted, paranoid, and deeply ashamed. In June 2011, he finally hits the brakes. One night, Dan skips the transfer routine and lets the system reveal the truth. Instantly, his account balance plummets into the negative millions. The entire fantasy laid bare. The next morning, he picks up the phone and calls his bank manager, voice shaking.
This has to be the dumbest thing that you can ever do. You're in debt, 1.6 million in your bank account. It's negative. I don't even think that's possible, but this is the current situation. You call up your bank that you owe them money that you don't have. This has to be the dumbest thing that can ever happen.
He tries to confess, to offer the remaining cash back. The manager cuts him off. Sir, it's a police matter now. We can't discuss this. Dan's heart sinks. He hangs up and waits for sirens.
Also, he spent at least half of his money already. The lifestyle that he was living is expensive. Flying private jets, 100K out of the window. Spending 8K in one hotel night. Let's say he stayed there for a week. That's another 100K out of the window. This is so dumb.
1 hour, then 2, then a whole anxious day. But no one comes. The silence that follows is deafening. The silence stretches for days, then weeks. Dan realizes something worse than arrest. They're not coming because they're building a case. Every transaction, every withdrawal, every party documented. The real question isn't if they'll arrest him. It's how many years he'll get.
Yo, that's actually smart. That's actually low-key smart, Chrissy. I'm withdrawing everything and going 50-50 at the casino on black. Why on black, bro? Put it on red or put it on green. I double, I fix everything. I fail, I was f***ed anyway. That's the best way to put it, actually. You're f***ed anyway. Do you have nothing to lose? But I don't generally think he have half of the money remaining.
2 years pass and still no knock at the door. Dan lives in limbo as the bank's $1.6 million phantom loss quietly lurks in their ledgers, and guilt eats him alive. Finally, Unable to take the uncertainty, he forces a resolution. In 2013, Dan contacts a major newspaper and spills everything. His wild story spreads fast.
Damn.
The bartender who exploited a midnight ATM glitch to live like a king. He even appears on national TV to explain how he did it, effectively daring the authorities to respond. This time, they do. Police charge Dan, and at long last he finds himself in a courtroom, facing the legal consequences of his 5-month spree. The case proves so unusual that even the judge and prosecutor struggle to grasp the scheme's finer points. The prosecutor struggles to explain the crime to the jury. He stole money that didn't exist. Even the judge asks for clarification twice. Dan almost laughs. They understand it about as well as the bank did. Dan pleads guilty, remorseful and relieved to finally atone. The sentence, 1 year in prison, followed by 18 months of community corrections.
Where is the nearest ATM? I'm quitting streaming, guys. 1 year for $1.6 million stolen. That has to be worth it, bro.
He serves his time and when it's over, slips back into ordinary life. The first day back at the bar, a regular recognizes him from the
No way they let him back to the bar, by the way.
news. You're that ATM guy. Dan nods, bracing for judgment. The man slides him a 20. Best tip you'll ever get, from money I actually earned. They both laugh. It feels like absolution. No more luxury suites or easy riches, just an apron, a bar, and $20 an hour. Dan is back where he started, but not the same man. The fever dream of free money taught him a hard truth about himself. He nearly lost sight of who he was. Now, having paid the price, he's determined to never let temptation consume him again.
Guys, let's all get the f out and go to do the same. And then become millionaire.
Bro, like, you spending only 1 year in prison? Yeah, f that. Time is moving quickly anyway. I'm 25. I remember when I was 6 years old, bro. Time is moving quickly. 1 year is not gonna be affecting anything. This guy was not smart with it, but hey, the video was fun. If you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.